Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So one of you, Yashwat, start reading every few minutes. You would remember. Anyone with a book open, please start reading. Be- Begin, please.
Ma'am, may I?
Begin, please.
Every few minutes, he would remember that he was an Indian and let out a war cry. That boy and Bill terrorist from the start.
That boy
Red
had built terror.
Chiefs, said I to the kid, would you like to go home? Oh, what for? Say he. I don't have any fun at home. I hate to go to school. I like to camp out. You won't take me back home again, Snake Eye, will you?
Okay, so now he's saying while he was having his dinner, and every now and then, whenever he thought of the character he was playing, he immediately gave a war cry like an Indian. The Red Indians were the tribal people of America. So he had taken up a character of Red Indian while he was dressed up with two feather in his head, on his head. So he started behaving like a Red Indian all of a sudden when he remembered and used to give a war cry and shout. Okay, so now the uh, uh, two kidnappers ask him whether don't you want to go home? To this boy says no, he doesn't want to go home because he never had so much fun at home. He never got a chance to camp out, and he hated to go to school. So he was enjoying his life out here in the jungle with them. So he never wanted to go back home. And so they promised, yes, we'll take you later, but not just now. And he said he would never like to because he was having fun more here than he would have had at home. We went to bed. Please begin from here.
Not right away, said I. We'll stay here in the cave. Mom, I have to start from we went or not right away. Mom, where I
Chalo,
left.
chalo. It's okay. I explained these two lines, so that is why I moved further. No
Okay,
problem.
mom. We went to bed about 11 o'clock. We spread down some white blankets and quilts and put Richie between us. He kept us awake for 3 hours. At last, I fell into a troubled sleep and dreamed that I had been kidnapped and chained to a tree by a ferocious pirate with red hair.
Okay, so now this narrator Sam, even he did not had a very sound sleep. When they finally laid down to bed at 11, it was for 3 hours that the child kept them awake, and it was nearly 2 o'clock when they had must have gone to bed. And in that also, this narrator had a very troubled sleep. He could not sleep soundly. Why? Because he had a dream where he saw himself being kidnapped and chained by a ferocious, dangerous pirate. Pirate is a thief, a person who smuggles. So, and that pirate also had red hair, just as this red chief had. So that means even he was scared of this little boy who was a constant threat to them. Yes, next.
Just at daybreak, I was awakened by terrifying, humiliating screams from Bill. I
Okay.
jumped up
Happy.
to see. Okay, ma'am.
Begin.
I
I jumped.
jumped I jumped up to see what the matter was. Red Chief was sitting on Bill's chest with one hand twinned in Bill's hair. In the other hand he had the sharp case knife we used to slicing bacon. He was trying to take Bill's scalp according to the punishment that had been given to him the evening before. I got the knife away from the kid and made him lie down again. But from that moment, Bill's spirit was broken.
Okay. So now, just at the time of the daybreak, he got awakened, not of a sound sleep, but because of the terrorizing and terrifying noise and humiliating screams by Bill. So when he opened his eyes to see, he saw that Red Chief was sitting on top of his Bill's chest, and with one hand he had twined up the hair. He was holding tightly the hair, and with the other hand he was trying to with a sharp knife trying to scalp away the hair of his from his head. So Bill was howling and shouting, and from that moment Bill was totally broken. He was shaken so badly that he gave up the idea of kidnapping this child and taking the ransom. In fact, he was ready to give away the ransom. Next.
He lay down on his side of the bed, but he never closed an eye again in sleep as long as that boy was with us. I dozed off for a while, but I sat up and leaned against a rock.
Okay. So now finally, both of them could not sleep. Even the narrator, though he posed and tried hard to sleep, but finally he could not get a sound sleep. So he dozed off a little, but then he sat leaning on a rock and sat firmly. Yes.
What you getting up so soon for? Sam asked Bill. Oh, I got pain in my shoulder. I thought sitting up would rest it, said I. You liar, said Bill. You're afraid. You were afraid that he'd bore you at sunrise. Isn't it awful, Sam? No, it's the way I wanted a little like that back home.
Okay. So now this Bill asked Sam, "Ki, why did you get up so early?" So to this, Sam replied, "Ki, I had a pain in my shoulder. So I got up." So this Bill said, "Don't tell me you are a liar. Even you were scared because according to the last night schedule, you were supposed to be cooked early in the daybreak time. So maybe
Well,
that, pardon? So maybe that has made you feel scared, and that is why you have got up. And I really wonder. Now Bill is saying he's really wondering that why would anyone pay a ransom for this child to be back home? Nobody, such a kind of a boy he was, that nobody at home must be wanting him back. So I don't think so. Bill says that I don't think so that anybody at home would love to give money for this awful little boy, so who's a brat, who's a mischievous child. Next,
I went up
I went.
in peak of the mountain to look at summit. I expected to see the vigil looking for the kidnappers, but instead I saw a peaceful landscape. When I got to the cave, I found Bill breathing hard and boy threatening to smash him with a rock.
Okay. So now, finally, the narrator, that is Sam, he decided to go and have a look at the village. So he went to the top of the mountain to see how the village looked. Were the people looking for him? But then when he saw that the landscape was very peaceful. Nobody was bothered. So he returned back. And when he returned back to the cave, he saw that Bill was again breathing very hard. Why? Because the boy was all ready to threaten him and to smash his face with a big rock. Can you see the picture here where he's holding a big rock and poor Bill is lying down and was all set to get smashed. Next,
Put a
he put
return boy potato down my back, exclaimed Bill. Have you got a gun out you, Sam? I took the rock away from the boy. I'll finish you, said the kid to Bill. You better be aware.
Okay. So now Bill also complained that you know what, this little boy, he had put a boiled potato on my back. That means he had left a boiling potato on his back, and now he was bothering him so much. So he said, had I had a gun, I would have shot him dead. He's asking for a gun from Sam, but then there's no gun. So what Sam did was he took away the rock from that child and told him, "Listen, you better should behave." And then Bill also, sorry, I'll finish. You said the kid to Bill, sorry. So now Bill was being threatened by the child. The little child is saying, listen, you better be careful. I'll smash your face otherwise with the rock. So this is the small little boy who's threatening Bill. So all this was making both of them feel very disappointed, and they were gradually losing their hearts. Yes, after breakfast.
After breakfast, a piece of leather with strings wrapped around it out of his
Just a
pocket
second.
and
Stop,
over the
stop,
outside.
stop, stop, stop. Yashwant, please read now.
Yes, ma'am.
Begin reading. Very bad. Aditya, begin reading.
Ma'am, I'm reading. Means,
Okay. Okay.
I'm,
This shows you.
I'm
This shows
reading.
you are not listening. Oh my God.
Yes, ma'am, I'm reading. After breakfast, the kid took a piece of leather with strings wrapped around it out of his pocket and went outside the cave unwinding it. What he's up to now, says Bill anxiously. You don't think he'll run away, do you, Sam?
Okay. So now, after having their breakfast, this boy came out with another trick. He took out a leather with a string that is called a catapult. जिसे हिंदी में गुलेल कहते हैं. Maybe he was trying to take out that, and he went outside. Now, while he was going out and unwinding it, opening it properly, now Bill was very anxious to know कि अब ये क्या करेगा. So he's saying, what is he going to do? Do you think he'll run away? He's asking Sam. So now Sam answers, yes. What does he answer? Begin.
Yes, ma'am. No, said I. Fond of home, but we have got to make some plan about the ransom. His parents may think he's spending the night with one of the neighbors. Anyhow, he'll be missed today.
Okay. So now, since he has gone up to the cliff and see that the village was very peaceful, so they consoled themselves that they said among each other कि हो सकता है आज वो लोग जान ना पाए हो कि बच्चा मिसिंग है. Maybe they are thinking that he must have gone to his friend's house to stay now, but today I am sure that they are going to miss him and they will look for him. Yes, begin.
Just then we heard a kind of war cry. It was a sling that Red Chief had pulled out of his pocket and hit Bill behind his left ear with a rock. Then he ran around like a madman falling over dishes. I caught the boy and shook him.
Okay. So now, while they were discussing this, he took out his catapult, and with that, he flew a small little rock, which hit the other boy, that other kidnapper, Bill, on his left ear backside. And with that pain which was inflicted to him, Bill started running around in pain, and he was smashing over the dishes. He was falling over here and there, and he was totally mad at this. So now to this, the narrator caught hold of the boy and he shook him up properly. And he
If
said,
you
if you do
don't
not.
behave,
Hmm.
if you don't behave, said I, I'll take you straight home. Now, you are going to be good or not? I was
So now,
only having fun. I'll behave, Snake Eye, if you won't send me home, said he suddenly. Sullenly. I am
suddenly.
going away for a while. You apologize to Bill or home you go. At once, I said.
Okay. So now Sam intervened and he said, listen, you better behave yourself. If you do not, we are sending you home. To this, the boy said, no, 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 please don't do that. I promise I behave. And the boy answered back sullenly. Now, sullenly means that he is not very willing to talk. उसे मन नहीं था बात करने का, बेमन से जिसे कहते हैं ना. In a very sullen way, manner, he replied, no, no, he'll behave himself, but he would like to stay. He's not going, okay? And he was ready to apologize even instead of going home. Next, turnover. I took Bill aside. Okay, after that, Aditya, be ready. Aditya Kapoor, you will be reading next. Continue, Yashmit.
I'm going away for a while. You apologize to Bill, or home you go at once, I said.
Hmm.
I took Bill aside and told him I thought it best to send a letter to Dorset demanding the ransom. Sam, said Bill, you won't leave me long with him.
Okay.
I'll be back.
I will be back sometime this afternoon, said I. Okay. So now Bill and both of them decided that they would be asking for a ransom from Dorset, demanding a ransom. And for that, they decided to write a letter. And now to this, Bill first asked, listen, I hope you will not leave me alone with this child because he was not ready to stay with him alone. To this, Sam said, no, I'll be back very soon by afternoon. I'll be back. Bill and I, come on.
Bill and I got paper and pencil and wrote the letter while Reggie, with a blanket wrapped around him, strutted up and down, guarding the mouth of the cave. Bill begged me tearfully to reduce the ransom. He felt nobody would give up $2,000 for this wild boy. I agreed and we wrote a letter.
So now, while they were looking for pen and paper, Red Chief was dressed up in his outfit. He wore a blanket which was given to him at the back and wrapped it around him and started behaving as if he was guarding the cave, the mouth of the cave. And seeing this little brat, Bill was totally discouraged and he begged Sam that we should better reduce the ransom amount because nobody was, he believed would pay $2,000 for this wretched fellow. So they began writing. They agreed upon it that okay, we'll reduce the ransom amount, and they agreed to write a letter. Okay, Aditya, read the letter. Ebenezer Dorset, S E.
Ebenezer Dorset, ESQ. We have your boy. We demand $1,500 to be left at midnight tonight at the same spot. If you agree to these terms, send your answer in writing by a messenger tonight at 8:30. After crossing Owl Creek, at the bottom of the fence post will be found a small pasteboard box. The messenger will place the answer in this box and return immediately to Summit. If you fail to comply with our demand, you will never see your boy again. Two desperate men.
Okay. So now the letter was written to Ebenezer Dorset, and ESQ means it's a way of giving respect. Just as we write dear sir, so it is a way of giving respect. So they said, Ki, listen, if your boy is with us, and how much money now they wanted now? It was $1,500. Instead of 2,000, they were ready to take 1,500 only. And they asked that by today midnight, at the same spot where you're finding this letter, the money should reach. Okay. Now that the reply was, if your answer is yes, they said that you should be there by 8:30. So every detail was given, and then they were asked that the messenger immediately should return back to the village summit. Okay, and they should not wait back. They should not try any tricks. Otherwise, they would never see the boy again. So this was them. And can you see the last? Instead of writing the names, what have they written? Two desperate men. That means they have given their identity, the number. They are two. And then desperate, that means they are overexcited. And men, that means they have told their gender. So a lot of information has been revealed about the kidnappers. The mental condition is nearly revealed in this. Two desperate men when they say it. Okay, next.
I wrote this letter and put it in my pocket. As I was about to start, the kid came up and to me and said, Snake Eye, you said I could play the Black Scout while you was gone. I am the Black Scout and I have to ride a horse. What am I to do? Asked Bill, looking at the kid suspiciously. You are the horse, said the Indian. Get down on your hands and knees. You'd better keep him interested, said I. Bill got down on all fours. The kid jumped on Bill's back and dug his heels in his side.
Okay, we stop here. So now, while Sam was going to drop the letter, uh, this young little naughty boy stopped Sam and said, Snake Eye, you had promised that I could play Black Scout now once you are gone. So now, if I'm a Black Scout, I'll be needing a horse to ride on. So what am I supposed to do? To this, Bill was very suspicious. He knew that it's he who will be made the horse. To this, they agreed finally, कि okay. And he was all waiting for Sam to return back quickly. So he got down on his four hands and knees and became a horse. Can you see the picture again? So there, as soon as he became the horse, this red chief, he jumped on him and sat on him, and he dug his heels in his side, just as the horse is given a start by kicking its sides. In the same way, poor little Bill, poor little man, I must say, he was the one who suffered a lot. He was made to feel the pain which was inflicted while he was made into a horse. We stop here now for today.